Wave King Skimmer, Cold Classic. Bryce, we're back.
What's up, Ruck?
What's up, Bryce?
How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing excellent today.
You ready to talk about some big guy skimmers?
Let's do it. Let's do it. So what is the backstory? I know from experience of, talking to bigger guys, being on the boat where, there's big guys that they're like, all I want to do is learn a 360. There's not a board that's going to keep me in the wave. I'm having a hard time. What can I do about that?
Yeah, and the Wave King Skimmer, that's kind of where that comes in, because it's not, what's cool about it to me is it's not a scaled up version of another surfboard that we've designed for something else. We kind of started completely from scratch to come up with and address the needs of what the big guy that wants to do a 3 is looking for. So it's not just a copy paste or making a board that works bigger. It's from scratch. Let's get with some big guys that do 3s and figure out what is going to work for them.
And that big guy making that 3 on the wave for the first time, what are they going to feel like? The Wave King.
Feel like the boss on the water, yeah.
You know it. You know it. So we kind of already talked about this. This board, the purpose of this board is a skim board for big guys, riding smaller waves, learning 360s, being able to do skim style tricks when they otherwise couldn't.
Yeah, and kind of getting into the features and the tail on the Wave King Skimmer is extremely wide and it's squared off. So squaring off a tail, you can make the board feel smaller.
And still get all that push.
And still get the push, exactly. So it's not, the tail isn't really like arcing in or anything, it's just a nice squared off tail. Giving you a really nice platform when you're a bigger rider on your back foot, giving you like lift and keeping the board on top of the water and giving you that down the line speed.
Right. Like your typical skimmer, pin tail, pin nose, you lose all that push. We're giving you that big squared off tail, all the momentum.
Right, yeah, and talking too about the tip, I mean the round tip really gives you a nice supportive feel. So when the tail of the board comes in when you're in the pocket and you got a lot of weight on your back foot, the nose of the board comes in when you're charging down and building up speed into a 3. It's gonna feel super supportive under the front foot because of that nice wide round tip in the nose.
Exactly, and going right into that, we're, talking about the rails, the profile, the rocker. You have that big, nice round nose. Let's talk about the rails and the rocker.
Yep, rails, really sharp skim style rail, minimal rocker to keep the speed. When you add rocker, sometimes it can make a board feel slow. We didn't want any of that in this, so skim boards technically have a lower rocker. This board does have an extremely low rocker to keep the speed up, and those sharp rails help too, keeping water kind of dispersing off the board's rail.
And talking about construction, a cool thing about this is we're dealing with some wood laminates, right?
Yep, wood laminates on the top and the bottom make the board feel really great when you're riding, really smooth and consistent, and also looks amazing with those little hits of gold on there and the gold and black stringer coming down the middle of the board with the pops of white coming off the pad. It's a really great looking board and it feels great when you're riding it.
Very cool. And moving into the world of fins, we're dealing with the button system and we're also dealing with the blueprint fin.
Yep, blueprint fin, that's the baseline fin for the Ronix line, a shape that we've developed for a long time and we feel is kind of the quintessential wake surf fin shape. And then, yeah, the button system, making it super easy, popping the fins in and out, springs are locking the fin in. Yeah, just making it easy with the button fins.
It's something else that we've kind of been talking about through, a lot of boards is for a skim style board, you have 3 fins, right?
Yeah, so locking the tail of the board in with 3 fins and then just rocking that center fin would be more of like a true, but yeah, it's nice having a little more grip, maybe for a bigger rider, having that extra grip in the tail if you need it. And then too, you can also kind of ride it more like a surf style board.
Right, and then you have your hard rails, so if you are someone that can really ride your rails, you can also ride it finless. Very cool. What we're dealing with one size.
One size, 5'1". Keeping it long, more surface area, but not too long to where you can't whip it around on a 3. Trying to dial that in was fun. Like Too long, you're swinging around and you can't get the board to turn. Too short, you're gonna lose speed and compromise on that. So 5-1 was kind of the sweet spot for the Wave King Skimmer.
In the Wave King world, one size fits all. The feeling, which we've kind of already talked about, we've touched on it. Bigger guys, 200 plus, looking for that 360 love on a skim board. Yeah, just, I feel like that has been a very unaddressed category in, the skim wake surfing world. Is just giving the bigger guy, the dad, he's sitting there driving for everybody all day long, not the biggest wave, wants to do a 3, wants to get out there, join in the fun. I feel like this, the Wave King Skimmer is really hitting the mark for that style rider. And the guy that wants to be that kind of rider, it's giving him the ability to get up in there.
Yeah, to ride better for if you're a bigger guy, it's going to give you more options when you're riding. You can do more tricks, and you're not going to feel like you're compromising on the performance with the Wave King Skimmer if you're a bigger guy, even up into 300 pound range or more than that. It's no compromises performance-wise for a bigger rider.
Just a much needed approach to an untouched category.